There are some things that you can do to lower your tax liability on your residential property here in Oklahoma. And because it's government, it can be a little bit confusing, but I am here to straighten you out on this. At the closing table, when you buy your new home in Oklahoma, like it's a really exciting time, right? So you're sitting there at a table and the closer is there. The closer is the person that like handled your title work and like made sure that everyone had everything outside of your realtor and your lender. Maybe your realtor's there, hopefully so. Hopefully it's me. And then hopefully your lender is there too. And you all sit there and you're like so excited and you're signing all of this stuff, right? Like a ton of paperwork. And your closer says something like, oh, and you'll need this document to file your homestead exemption for your property. And like, you're not taking notes. Why would you be taking notes? You're signing paperwork to get a new house. You're getting your keys. You have to move all of your stuff into your new house. So you don't listen and, you don't take notes. And that's fine. That's what I'm here for. You do know, though, whenever you talked to the closer and they said like, "Oh, you need to file this homestead exemption." You know that they said some dates and you are not totally sure what those are. Well, the first date they said was probably January 1. So you need to have lived in your property on January 1 in order to file for your homestead exemption. And then you for in Cleveland County, so Cleveland County is where I live. Most other counties it's going to be March 15th. Cleveland County is February 1st that you have to get your homestead exemption, it's hard to say, homestead exemption form in to the courthouse. So you're here, you're watching this video, and you're like, okay, is it worth it for me to file this thing? And I'm here to tell you, yeah. And it's pretty easy, and you don't have to do it again. Here is what the homestead exemption is here in the state of Oklahoma. You have an assessed value on your house, right? And you can find it on the county assessor website, especially if you live in one of the counties that actively uses the internet. And so you have an amount on there. So what this homestead exemption does is lowers your taxable amount on your property, your assessed value, by $1,000. And this can save you usually at least $75 a year, but probably a decent amount more than that. So the idea here is to lower taxes for the residential person, like the resident who owns the home and is paying for it and contributing to society in their home. Um, the idea is to lower that tax amount for you and to limit some of the things that creditors, the people that, come to get you for money, may want to do to you. So it offers some protection against those creditors. Some creditors, not all creditors. Some people think that this homestead exemption is automatic. Like, well, they know that I live in my house. Like, I'm the one living here and like, blah, blah, blah. They don't put two and two together. They're not going to do that. You have to file it. That is how this works. And once you file it, you don't have to do it again. Most counties, like I said, it's March 15th. Cleveland County is February 1st. And you do have to have lived in your house on January 1st in order to file it. If you miss the deadline, you will not see the benefit come December when the tax bills come out. Now, the form is super easy to find online. Literally, just go to the Google machine and type in Oklahoma Homestead Exemption Form, and it'll pop right up there at the top. You can print it out or you can fill it as a PDF. I also know that people will march themselves right up to their courthouse in their own county and fill it out in person, and that is okay too. There are some other exemptions that go along with this. So, one exemption that's pretty popular here in Oklahoma, and you may have heard about it if it pertains to you or someone in your family, is the 100% disabled veteran exemption. So what it is like you have to file your homestead exemption. Like that's number one. Like you have to do that. And then you file another form. I think it's form 998. And this one, they ask you a bunch of questions, make sure that you are a 100% disabled veteran certified by the USDVA, and you don't have to pay property taxes on your house, on your property, your residential property here in Oklahoma at all. I know some other states have this. But I do know that that is a major reason and one of the many things that veterans have access to here in the state of Oklahoma. So why would you not want to do the homestead exemption? Well, if you aren't a resident of Oklahoma, then you don't want to do it. So like some people, especially active military, I've noticed, will live in Oklahoma, of course, but keep their residence somewhere else, like maybe in Nebraska or Maine or something like that. I don't know. But it's if you're not going to be a resident of Oklahoma, then you don't need to do a homestead exemption. Actually, you can't do a homestead exemption. You also cannot file homestead exemptions on your investment properties or on your second home. Like you have to live in your home in order to file the homestead exemption. So another important one to mention is the senior valuation freeze. So for this one, the senior valuation freeze and the 100% disabled veterans exemption, you have to have filed the homestead exemption. So you have to be a resident here in Oklahoma. And what this is after the age of 65, if you don't make over a certain amount of money, which is a HUD, like there's a HUD, housing and urban development amount that is published, and it does change some. You're gonna be making less than that amount, and your property taxes increase, and you're head of household, and you're 65 years of age or older on January 1st. And you filed a homestead exemption and you're like, man, my values went up. Like, can I freeze this? And the answer is yes. So it is literally just what it sounds like. Your valuation is not going to increase unless something changes. Like you end up making more money for some reason or something like that. But you also have to let the state or the county know if that happens to you. Like if you start making more money than the HUD requirements. Um, so for that, when you won't notice your tax bill going up anymore after you file it and get approved. So this application has to be filed between this application has to be filed between January 1st and March 15th, or within 30 days of the notice of the valuation increase of your property. And you don't have to renew this one either. So it's forever. So I'm Marcie Billen. I am a real estate agent here in Oklahoma. And hopefully this video helped you. If you have more questions, you can drop them in the comments. If you need to contact me, you can do that here at this link, okay? You can also watch more of my videos to see what is and is not worth it here in the state of Oklahoma.